Hey there, welcome to day 304 of our BU 365 day challenge. Halloween today. If you celebrate Halloween, used to be one of my favorite holidays. So I thought a great topic for today would be fear, our biggest fear. We're going to talk about our biggest fears. We're going to share our biggest fears, and we're going to then do an exercise where we break down how do we overcome these fears. So my biggest fear now is very different than it was when I was younger, right? And our exercise today, our action item, it's a holiday, so I don't want to take up a ton of your time, is to think about at different ages what you were most afraid of. Now I'm going to show you my little notebook, and I started doing this yesterday because I thought, okay, that's a great exercise. And I just wrote down, what's your biggest and greatest fear right now? Right now, my biggest fear is not fulfilling and doing what I'm here to do, to serve at a higher level. And that's or to create a legacy or to create a lasting positive impression on those I love and care about first, and then my, extended family and people in the world, right? I am one of those weird people that wants to make the world a better place. And my biggest fear right now is that I'm not doing enough to accomplish that. So over the years, I noticed that I experienced different fears. I found some lists of fears, and the most common fears, for example, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of loss, fear of being judged, fear of losing our identity, fear of losing control, fear of time, fear of who you really are, fear of loss of the known, and fear of what's next. I thought that was a great list because I personally have experienced every single one of those at some time during my life. And then I started breaking down at what ages did I feel different types of fear. And then I asked myself the question, am I still afraid of that now? And the answer is, in some cases, absolutely not. Other cases, a little bit, right? I've been afraid of heights since I fell off a jungle gym in grade school and landed on my head. Ever since then, I've been afraid of heights. Now, I've done a lot of things to diminish my fear of heights, but I still get that niggling feeling in the back of my neck whenever I need to go up high and climb up high on something. So, other fears that I've personally had different times in my life are that I wasn't smart enough. I remember going to college, and that first semester was massive shock for me because I had gone to high school, and in grade school I had to try hard to learn because I definitely had learning differences. And I'm sure I was dyslexic, didn't know what dyslexia was back then, but I'm absolutely positive I was dyslexic, and I actually had to figure out how to overcome that myself because nobody knew I was dyslexic. I was dyslexic and I couldn't see for squat. I had terrible vision. So my parents and my teachers and the school nurse and the eye doctor helped me with the terrible vision part, but they still didn't understand that I didn't see things the way other people and other kids saw things. So that was, I believed that I was stupid, and I was really afraid that I wasn't smart and that I was dumb and that I was going to struggle in life. When I was about second, third, fourth grade, right? It was second grade, first and second grade, I started feeling that way. And by fourth grade, I was like, no, I don't think I'm that stupid. I don't feel like I'm stupider than my sisters or my classmates. How am I going to figure out how I can keep up with them and learn in a way that works for me? And I actually had to come up with a solution for that myself. And I don't know if anybody cares. My trick was, and I had gotten a camera from my parents over the summer. And my trick between third and fourth grade was I realized when I looked through that camera, I could zoom in and focus in on things. And that's what I was missing when it came to school and learning. I didn't have the ability in my brain and eyes to focus on something. And so I started to pretend I was looking through a camera when I was doing my schoolwork or reading or things. And that helped me to get in focus what I was seeing and rearrange it in my mind and on the page so I could actually learn to read well and function and do well in school. And so I no longer think that I'm stupid, although every once in a while I'll feel like I'm stupid. But I knew that if I could unravel that and figure out how to learn like the rest of the kids, I could excel in school. And I ended up doing that. So my question is, think of something that you were afraid of about, and I broke it down by 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, just because I thought if I asked myself what was my biggest fear then, I can kind of go back in my mind and search through the records of when I was 10. Because prior to being 10, or I think 10 is past, I don't know what grade 10 is. I guess second grade is 7. So from about 7 to 10, that was my biggest fear, was that I wasn't smart. And so then I figured it out. But so I don't have that fear anymore. And then what was my biggest fear when I was 15? Not fitting in, not being popular, not being good enough, not being pretty enough. Those fears, right? The teenage angst fears that most of us teenage girls go through because we're gangly and we go through really challenging appearance phases in our teenagers. At least I did. You know, I guess my younger sisters didn't. They were always pretty dang cute. But I asked myself, do I have that fear anymore? Some of them, yes. Some of them, no. And then I want to think about, well, what did I do to get over that? In almost every situation, I decided to take some action toward that fear that helped me find out that it absolutely positively wasn't true, and it wasn't true for me. I think almost every fear we actually will face and look into, we realize that it's a lie and that it's not true for us. So I'm curious if you'll try this experiment today on yourself and let me know, is this true for you as well? Or is it, you know, just something I'm doing differently? And I doubt, because I don't think I do anything absolutely differently than everybody else on the planet. I mean, I've got my own unique idiosyncrasies, but like so many people, we do things as human beings in the same way. So today, what's our action item? Think about your biggest fear. What's your biggest fear? And if you're brave, share your biggest fear right now. Mine is of being average or normal, I guess. That still niggles away at me. So share your biggest fear, and then do this exercise where you think about maybe only 1 or 2 fears, things that you've been afraid of in the past, especially examine the ones that you're not afraid of anymore, right? All right, any questions on this? Hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an absolutely awesome Halloween. Bye.